Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to Friday. Yeah. Man, look at everybody trying to roll already. Come on, guys. I thought, you know, we had like this awesome community and stuff, and it was all about like the content and the community and, you know, my fantastic takes. And but I see what it's really about. I see what you're really here for. Chat! Initiate the gambling! What up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to your Friday show. We've got a lot to talk about today. Yesterday was pretty freaking wild when it comes to all the Fantastic Four rumors. Like, wow, what a roller coaster ride of emotions. And as we've come to expect with the Fantastic Four updates, a lot of confusion, questions, and conflicting reports about what's going on. But we plenty to dig into, plenty of cool stuff to go over with you and see if you guys are feeling it, if you're not feeling it, etc., etc. So we're going to get into that. There's a couple other news bits that I want to talk about as well. Some stuff that's like really triggering me. I'm like, what is happening? But yes, as D Murdoch is asking, we will have a Diamond Lounge stream tonight. 7 p.m. tonight, we're going to open up the Diamond Lounge. If you are a Diamond tier member, if you've been a member for 6 months or more, hit somebody up on the Discord. They'll get you in there. And I think tonight's Diamond Lounge stream is going to be really cool. And we may talk about some crazy things that have happened this week that are not necessarily nerdy related. It usually gets pretty wild on those streams. So come on by for that. That should be a really, really good time. I'm excited. I hope you're excited as well. Oh, it'll be your first? Nice. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Gonna be a good time. Don't delete it, Josh. I can't make it. Well, it depends. I usually try not to delete them, although I think I'm going to start deleting them. But I usually try not to delete them unless like I get really crazy. There's been a couple of streams where I was like, what did I say on that stream? Oh my God. And then like, yeah, deleted it. So we'll see. It just kind of depends. I try to go right up to that line. I try to have a couple drinks, couple smokes, and I walk right up to that line. And then as soon as I start like getting a few things in my head where I'm like, bro, you shouldn't say that, then we get off of there. So we'll see what happens. I think it's only happened like 2 or 3 times. So I'll see you guys tonight. Okay, that should be cool. Rumor about Gosling being the surfer. I'm not sure about that, Papa Marco. We'll talk about all of the craziness when it comes to the Fantastic Four in just a second. Before we get into all of that, like, how are you guys doing? How was the week for you? I think it was a crazy week, like sort of still a slow news weekend with the strike and everything. You know, things are a little bit slow, but we technically started the week with a Loki trailer and we're ending it with some Fantastic Four news. To me, I think that's fantastic. Shouldn't fucking damn it. It's awesome. Okay. I'm happy for all of that. Also, too, how many of you guys are RPG players? How many of you guys started playing Baldur's Gate 3? Anybody? Chat? Bueller? Baldur's Gate 3? Anybody? Baldur's Gate 3 is pretty dope. I'm excited to play some more today and this weekend. Yeah. So that's really cool. If you're into RPGs, awesome freaking game, dude. Recently came out. What else is going on? There's something else going on. I can't think of it. But yeah, had a pretty good week. Nobody, LOL. No, nobody? None of you guys? How's Diablo 4? It's all right. I had some fun with Diablo 4. I'd probably just say it's all right. It's like weird. Like the game's almost too casual. How about that Ahsoka trailer? What Ahsoka trailer? Did we get a new Ahsoka trailer? When did that happen? Oh, we did get an Ahsoka. I thought the Ahsoka trailer was last week. Was that this week? Oh, a TV spot. Okay, so like a new little TV spot. Okay. It was last night, midnight. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Look, Ahsoka's a really interesting show. I think, look, here's what I'll tell you about Ahsoka, okay? I am personally going, hopefully, if the show's as good as I think it's going to be, I'm going to sing the show's praises loud and proud. And I'm going to be a true Star Wars fan and celebrate the thing that I think is so awesome. If I do indeed think it is going to, if it's going to be as awesome as I think it's going to be, I'm going to go to bat for that show, man. I'm going to go to bat for that show hard because I am a Star Wars fan, and it's like the opposite of Andor to me. Where like, and look, some of you guys don't get it or whatever, and like some of y'all just love Andor, and so you're like, whatever, Josh, fuck you. But you gotta think of it from my perspective. When I saw Andor, I rejected it. I rejected as a Star Wars fan. Okay, you might not understand that, and that's fine. But I rejected that shit as a Star Wars. I was like, hell nah, this is not Star Wars. This is not what Star Wars should be. I'm out. Okay, and I did that because honestly, with whatever amount of influence I have, I'm like, no, like that's not what I want. So, in a sort of like opposite thing, if Ahsoka is what I want and what I think Star Wars should be, oh man, I'm gonna go to bat for that show. I'm gonna go to bat for that show really, really hard. The question though is, how popular is this show gonna be? Do you know what I mean? Like, how popular is this show going to be? That, I think, is still in question. And there's a lot working against the show. Mostly, like, I don't know, 80% of the fucking Disney Star Wars catalog, right? So, it would be a shame if the show underperformed and the cheerleading that I'm probably about to do doesn't get as noticed and wouldn't get as noticed as the crapping on Andor. You know what I mean? I can't control that exactly, but I can control like my messaging and what I think of it. But we're a couple of weeks away from Ahsoka. I am incredibly excited for Ahsoka, yo. I think Ahsoka is going to be the way. The way. Can we talk about something else, though? Can we talk about something else first? Something that's driving me absolutely nuts before we get into all of the Fantastic Four information here? Let me see if I can get this pulled up for you. Bruh. Can we talk about this, bruh? Hey, bruh. Hey, bruh. Bruh, can we talk about this, bruh? Bruh, you heard about this, bruh? Bruh. Okay, so let's go into the first tweet and then we'll back it up, okay? Screw it. Let's reveal Aubrey Plaza's character in Agatha Coven of Chaos. She will be playing Rio Vidal, the first Green Witch and Agatha's ex. Look at this guy. Okay. That's very funny. Okay, let's go back here though. I forgot to mention that Rio is lined up to be one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. Man. What? So, okay, look. I like Aubrey Plaza. She's cool. But the Green Witch, an original character, a character that Marvel came up with, an original character. So now a new entry into the MCU, an actress that has never been in the MCU ever before. Ever! Her first fucking appearance is going to be in a spin-off show of a Disney Plus show. And she's going to be the Green Witch and more powerful than Wanda. More powerful than Gaia, who's like the latest most powerful character that just showed up in a Disney Plus show. What are we doing here, dude? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I've gone from being, like, excited about Agatha to, like, okay, I'm open to Agatha being good to, like, I don't give a shit about Agatha to now I'm kind of preying on the show's downfall. I gotta be honest with you. Fuck this show. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this? Someone needs to explain this to me. And there's two things going on. There's two things that are driving me absolutely nuts about this. Like, number one, this is Morgan Le Fay. Like, you're talking about the most powerful... If you were talking about a female witch that's the most powerful, like one of the most powerful characters, it's Morgan Le Fay. So, like, what are we doing here? This is Morgan Le Fay. But they're not doing Morgan Le Fay. I don't know why they're not doing Morgan Le Fay, but they need it to be, like, not Morgan Le Fay for some reason. Okay? And so now it's going to be Aubrey Plaza as the Green Witch? This feels like what a child would come up with after first learning about the Scarlet Witch. Like, a child would be, oh, Red? What about Green Witch? It's, like, really silly. It's really silly. It's really ridiculous. And, dude, like, the other part's the MCU part. Everybody, like, I see it in the chat. It drives me fucking nuts. But here's the thing. I don't know if Marvel's ever beating these allegations. Because they're kind of like doing it. They're kind of doing it. Like, I think, like, I'm stuck in a place where I don't like the MCU criticism. And yet, if I'm starting to look at, like, just numbers here and some charts and some Venn diagrams and shit, I'm starting to be like, what? Oh, no. Oh, no. Is this real? I don't know, man. It just seems like again, like this is the problem. And I was actually working on a video before the Fantastic Four news came out, and I should probably still drop this video. I think I'll drop it on Saturday. I was working on a video yesterday, and essentially the premise of the video is, you know, there's a lot of discussion about Marvel and Marvel falling off, Marvel dead, blah, 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 right? There's one thing, as I look out at the future of Marvel from this point on, one thing that I think is actually going to do an incredible amount of damage for Marvel Studios, and it is the fact that they won't just cancel these ill-conceived products and content. So, like, I actually can't believe we're on this. I'm upset by this, but I didn't think we'd get, like, here. But let's just go with it while we're here, okay? If you're okay with it. Are you okay with it? Can I just go on this point for a little bit and then we'll talk about the Fantastic Four? Is that okay? These ideas, these shows, these concepts, they came from the thought process of we're on top of the world, we're invincible, and if we throw that Marvel logo on something, people are going to show up. That turned out not to be correct. And in the Infinity Saga, we had this distribution of, like, I'd say like 80% really, really good things. And like 20%, you know, mid, throwaway, not good kind of things, right? But it feels like that distribution has flipped in Phase 4 and going into Phase 5, where 80% of the shit is like mid, forgettable nonsense, and 20% of it's like pretty solid. Okay? And I'm actually really excited about a lot of things in the future of Marvel. But what I fear and what I think is the worst thing that they're doing right now, and the thing that's actually going to do an incredible amount of damage, and the thing that, by the way, this douchebag Bob Iger will never let them get out from under, and I'd love to be proven wrong about that, they can't cancel any of the bullshit that they conceived when they were in that on top of the world state. Who gives a shit about an Agatha Coven of Chaos show? Who gives a shit about Echo? Who gives a shit about Ironheart? Who gives a shit about Wonder Man? Who gives a shit about a lot of these different projects? And it's like they're not going to cancel it. So at a time when we really need all the good shit that we're really excited about, they're going to like make us take this medicine. And I think it's really damaging to the brand. I think it's really damaging. And again, like, I just don't think Disney, because this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where art meets corporation. Disney would never let them just cancel this shit and, like, kill it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I say this as a fan. I say this as a guy that, like, man, there's so many videos I could have made this month that are, like, super negative and probably would have, like, got a lot of clicks. And I'm like, I'd just rather not, you know? I'm a fan. I want them to succeed. I really think there's like this, there's a super out of touch aspect to what's going on with Marvel right now. And like, I don't know, man. Maybe we should just leave it there, because I tend to, like, because I'm, so invested, I tend to get like really upset and like go hard on it. But I think this is ridiculous. I think Secret Invasion was ridiculous. I think Gaia is ridiculous. And I think that this is the most damaging thing. These are the landmines for Marvel. Their own fucking content for the next year and a half. These are the landmines. And if we get past this and then we get into like different types of content, better conceived projects, I'm all for it. Now, the other aspect to this that's really confusing to me is this the comic book thing again? Is this the refusal of Marvel Studios to adapt the comic books? And you know what? I had this thought because I'm like really worried about this. But then I think about like what's going on with Miss Marvel, right? And Miss Marvel right now it's really interesting because in the comics, Miss Marvel just died, but she's going to come back as a mutant. And in the MCU, of course, they've just made Miss Marvel a mutant. And I'm like really curious because that runs, to me, that seems almost counter to the fear and the sort of conspiracy that they're not adapting comics anymore, because that seems like there's a true sort of kinship between what they're doing with the live action stuff and the comic books. And they're trying to create like a nice feedback loop. But when like a character that should clearly just be Morgan Le Fay is turned into the Green Witch, when Secret Invasion is turned into whatever the hell that was, I mean, I just don't know, man. Like, I'm a little bit worried about that. Like, Rio Vidal? Like, what? Okay. So this is triggering to me. And Agatha Coven of Chaos, very low on my list. Just because of all the different things that we've been hearing about. Like, dude, there's no cool shit to talk about, so you're talking about all this nonsense that nobody cares about. And, okay, one last thing. Apparently, the show is getting a director who did several episodes of the show Wednesday, which, by the way, is an incredible show. I've sung its praises before. But here's, like, what's weird about that. Like, I didn't sit down to watch Wednesday with Marvel expectations. I sat down to watch Wednesday knowing pretty much what it was going to be, trying to see what it was, and then it surprised me by like how good it was, how much I liked the characters, and how fun it was. You can't do that with an MCU property. They got to stop trying to do this. They're trying to tap into other genres, almost like trying to get outside from under the expectations of being a comic book property, which seems so ridiculous. Like, I'm just like, what is happening over there, bro? It's crazy. So anyway, I'll leave it there, man. Anyway, Fantastic Four. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four. Out of curiosity, how many of y'all were watching the news go down yesterday, watching the podcast, watching everybody react on Twitter? How many of you guys were having that kind of experience yesterday? Because I ended up having that experience. And I think the first thing that I saw pop up was Jack Quaid. That shit got me hyped, bro. So Jack Quaid, somebody, or what had happened was, you see, what had happened was Jeff Snyder on the podcast was dropping some scoops, and he drops the Jack Quaid thing. Little did he know, the internet took that shit and went crazy with it. Like, Jack Quaid was almost instantly trending. It was bananas. And I think it was a really big deal. I mean, first of all, like, I think a lot of people really like Jack Quaid. I like Jack Quaid. And I thought he was great for the role. Now, he's a little weird for Johnny, to be honest with you. He's not even that great for Johnny, but I just like Jack Quaid so much. And it blew the fuck up, man. To the point that, Jeff Snyder gets this tweet, saying that, oh, it's not true. And it was kind of like a little bit of a fumble on his end. And then Jack Quaid himself tweets about it, like, within the hour. That's how crazy it was. It blew up. Like, it blew up, man. It was insane. And, like, from there, I think so much attention got on that particular podcast, and good for those guys. You know what I mean? I like both of those guys. I know some of you guys don't like Rocha. Some of you guys don't like Snyder. I like both those guys. And so they get, like, a whole bunch of attention. So then they start talking. And then, of course, other scoopers and insiders start chiming in. And we get this sort of cacophony of fucking Fantastic Four craziness and news and information. Now, from there, we can distill a couple of different things. And maybe, like, we just kind of cut through the bullcrap and just get into the realness of it. The first thing that we know almost for sure. You did message me, Chillin'. You did. I appreciated that. So the first thing we know for sure, and I shouldn't say for sure, take all of this with a grain of salt. And in fact, let's take 2 steps back. There's a strike going on right now. Writer strike, actor strike. So there's no official movement on any of this. But what we're kind of learning is things that happened before the strikes and things that are being discussed at a high level at Marvel for what they want to do after the strike. Okay? So that's what's happening. Stuff that happened before, stuff that's being talked about at a very high executive level at Marvel Studios. So the thing that happened before, according to the reports, is that Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm. Let's start there. It's like, this is the most certain thing from all of the craziness that happened this week. Vanessa Kirby is your Sue Storm. Thoughts? Thoughts, chat? Lizzo is the thing. We'll talk about that later. Not Lizzo. No, not Lizzo. Yo, we're talking Lizzo on the chat tonight, though. In the Diamond Lounge, there will be a few Lizzo jokes. I'm just going to throw that out there. Yeah, it seems like people are pretty positive on this. You know what? Score 1 for Marvel casting. Holy shit. I think she's perfect, man. I really like Vanessa Kirby. I think she's great. And I think that we got a really good Sue Storm. It's funny because she gets asked that question, right? Do you all remember when she got asked that question about Sue Storm months ago, and she said it would be an honor or something like that? I mean, that's the kind of shit you want to hear. I know it's like easy, but there are other people that don't even give fans the time of day with regards to things like that, right? So it's cool. I think that was a good little moment for her. That might have been right around the time she actually signed. So wow, that's so cool. Good for her. Here's the controversial part of that, though, and put some gloves on because we're going full on into the shit here. The report that comes alongside with that is the fact that Sue Storm will be the lead of the Fantastic Four. So, thoughts, chat? Thoughts on that? Lizzo is the Merrick Inquisitor. Oh my God, probably. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system. Just, Let me know. Just, yeah, let it out. Let it out. It's okay. This is a safe space. Yeah, this chat's wild. I know. We've got a good group over here, but that doesn't mean that we don't have a wild group. You know what I mean? Very wild. Lizzo at Starkiller Base. Damn, y'all are on fire, I'll tell you. Not really a safe space? Yes, it's the moderator that's going to axe everybody. That's funny, Trent. That's funny. Okay. So, lead of the film. First, let's break this down. Let's talk about what it actually means. Then let's talk about, what all the complainers are going to say on both sides. Okay. So, first of all, I don't think this means she's going to be the leader of the Fantastic Four. Yeah, I just don't think that's what it's going to be. Now, you could make the argument that, Sue's always kind of been the leader. And I would agree because here's the thing. It's a family. And it's like Reed and Sue mostly calling the shots together. But also, Reed is the smartest being in the fucking universe. I know John Krasinski kind of let us down with that. But that's straight facts. Other alien races seek out Reed Richards for fucking help. He's, weirdly smart. So there's no way that they can have Sue Storm lead the team and, point Reed's intelligence at problems like a gun? It doesn't make any sense. So I don't think that's what it means. And the example that I gave in the video I did yesterday about this, breaking it down, was the Spider-Man Kang Dynasty thing. So, if you don't know, the current rumor, and things change, but the current rumor is that Tom Holland is going to be the lead of Kang Dynasty. And when this shit dropped, a lot of people were also like, bro, Spider-Man can't lead the Avengers. Ah! Spider-Man can't lead everybody against Kang. Ah! And it's like, bro, that's not what that means. What it means is that the lensing of the narrative, maybe the opening shots, maybe the ending shots, but damn sure a lot of shots, will focus on the perspective of the lead character. And so Sue is likely to be the driving force of the narrative. And from her perspective, we'll see a lot of this, which, come on, man, it kind of makes sense. Reed's her husband, Johnny's her brother, Thing is close associate of the family, essentially family. Johnny's kind of actual brother, you know what I mean? Sibling, so to speak. So within that dynamic, I absolutely think the mother's perspective is a good perspective to establish, to kind of drive the force of the narrative, especially if they want to do something interesting with Reed potentially, and what's going on with him actually, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's what I think is going on, okay? But having Sue as the lead of the film, regardless of whether or not she's the leader of the team, is still probably going to ruffle some feathers, and it's still, let's call it a bold move. Because, of course, as we just talked about, the MCU criticism is that's just not going away. You know what I mean? That's not going away. And, man, I got to tell you, if Sue Storm is, girl bossing Reed Richards this entire time, I think that's a massive mistake. I think that a lot of people would just not enjoy that. Name me some Marvel fans that would actually really enjoy that. I think you could have Sue get a little bit more justice than she has in comics in the past. That's fine. But if she's girl bossing Reed the whole time, I feel like that's gonna turn a lot of people off. The other thing that's kind of tricky about the Fantastic Four, and it's damn, dude, they're kind of playing with fire a little bit here, and that is because this is a family. And so the family unit and optics around family and, all that is going to be on full display. And we live in a day and age where everybody thinks that not only do they know the best way to, do their family, but they also know how every other motherfucker on the planet should do their family. It's a really weird time. So man, they're playing with fire a little bit, you know, by doing this. And to be honest with you, I think get away from all of that shit. Go cosmic, crazy, bombastic, go fun. Like, just go wild with it. And that's sort of my hope with it. And maybe this lead thing is really like a nothing burger. You know what I mean? But yeah. So here we go again. We're not off this ride. Okay, next thing that we should talk about. And of course, like, we'll save time for Q&A. I want to know what y'all think about all this stuff. But next thing we got to talk about is the fact that it's actually Joseph Quinn. And oh man, got some tea and got some, oh man, I'm like, dude, this whole thing yesterday, like, it kind of like really upset me. Like a lot of the different reactions and a lot of the different things that people were talking about. So the next thing that happened was basically Jeff Snyder realized JQ is not Jack Quaid, but Joseph Quinn. I probably would clarify that before you like get out there talking about it, but regardless, it appears that it's going to be Joseph Quinn. But like we said at the top, and I think this is really important to reiterate, the only thing that's solid here is Kirby and the fact that Kirby's the lead. Everything else you got to take with a grain of salt. So Joseph Quinn, I think, was probably the last serious pick before the strikes. And who knows what'll happen after the strikes. I think it's probable that he'll get it because he was an early choice. Apparently he was a choice that Shackman really likes. So he's likely to get it, but it's not 100%. Now, the thing that pissed me off about this Joseph Quinn conversation was how so many people on the internet said, basically, the dude's not hot enough. And I gotta know what y'all... Who's Joseph Quinn? Joseph Quinn is the guy from Stranger Things. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, so this is... Let me pull this up. So, this is the homie from Stranger Things. Okay, he was Eddie. And Joseph Quinn, there. Joseph Quinn. Here's Joseph Quinn. That's Joseph Quinn. And everybody, like, literally the discussion online, and it's like, people are so flagrant with it, too, is that he's not hot enough. He's not a mimbo. He doesn't look like a... Yeah, like, dude, what? Like, how absurd? How absurd? How absurd to, like, cheer the modernizing of Sue Storm and to want her to not be like the derivative version that we have in the comics, and then turn around and say Joseph Quinn isn't hot enough to be the mimbo that he was in comics? How fucking bizarre. Disappointed. Papa Joss is disappointed in many of you. That's crazy. And also, like, homie looks good. Like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Like, this is crazy. We live in a world where fucking, what's the homie's name? Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson is the mimbo. But Joseph Quinn, get his hideous mug away from me. You know, like, what the fuck? Sheesh. I like Joseph Quinn now, you know? Liked him in Stranger Things, but now the way everybody was like, oh, but at least Jack Quaid was... I'm like, God damn, dude, y'all are crazy. The same people that are, like, cheering on Lizzo's body positivity. God damn. God. So I like Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch. How about y'all, chat? What do you guys think? I think it would be good. I think it would be good. Let's go to the polls. There's too much contention here. I must know. Let's get some statistics. Let's get some numbers. Johnny Storm. I think he has the charisma for it. Hell yeah, dude. Oh man, there's so much more that I gotta say that I want to say about this, but I don't want to get canceled. So we'll talk about it in the lounge later. You only made it into season 2 of Stranger Things? Whoa, interesting. I'm just glad it's not Adam Driver. Well, hold your horses. We're about to get into that. Wow, 80% yes. It's a no for me, dog? Okay. Josh isn't fat enough for the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? We're going to get to the fat white guys in a minute. Dan. Sheesh. Can us fat white guys get a fucking W for once? Holy shit. Okay. So it looks like 80% of you are reasonable. Cool. Okay, a couple other things that's going on in here. Let's talk about Reed Richards. So earlier on in the week, they said the rumor was out there that Matt Smith was the last person that was given an offer for the role of Reed Richards before the strike. And as we talked about earlier on in the week, bro, what? No! I don't have anything against Matt Smith. I actually like Matt Smith in a lot of the things that he's cast in right now. But I just feel like Reed Richards has to have eyebrows. You know? Like, I just want fucking eyebrows. You know? So, on that alone, I was against Matt Smith. I just don't like it. I don't see it. No, thank you. No. I told you and I stand by it. I'd rather have Mila Kunis as the Thing than Matt Smith as Reed Richards. You could take that one to the bank. Now, luckily, according to all the buzz yesterday, Matt Smith probably not going to be Reed Richards. Okay, at least according to Jeff. He's like, nah, I don't think that's going to happen. And apparently they don't have Reed. So what Jeff is reporting is that they have the Thing. We're going to talk about that fat white guy in a second. They have their Sue. They have their Johnny, but they don't have Reed. Okay? And then Grace Randolph said yesterday that what she heard as far as the final picks for Reed are Dev Patel, Adam Driver, and Matt Smith. Out of those three, who y'all like? Should we go to the polls on that? Should we go to the polls on that? Let's go to the polls. And Adam Driver. Boom. Who you got? Who you got? Put Krasinski on there. Why? Adam Driver's winning. No Lizzo? No, sorry, man. She's already got the role of Galactus. Yeah, I said it. Okay. Yeah. Let's oh boy. Okay. Let's pull it up. Wait, did she erase that tweet? Damn. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, and it looks like currently Adam Driver way out in front at 61%. Dev Patel coming in next at like 28%, and Matt Smith at a lonely 12%. No offense, Matt. You're great in a lot of things. Some characters don't need eyebrows. It's okay. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, I like Dev Patel. Out of all of these picks, I like Dev the most. And I said this on Twitter yesterday, and a bunch of people were all mad at me and like yelling woke and all this craziness, and that's what it's fucking become. It's internet thunderdome. We've all lost our goddamn minds. It's a race to the bottom of the brainstem for clicks and attention, and I get it. But holy shit, pump the brakes. Dev is obviously the best choice. He just is the most Reed Richards out of all of them. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Like, Dev is clearly the best pick, man. John David Washington is a great pick as well. I think he embodies Reed. Like, I see Reed. You know? Just the vibe, the swagger, you know? Even the way he fucking talks. I just, like... Adam Driver? I still have like a little bit of trouble seeing Adam Driver. I like Adam Driver as a pick because Adam Driver is like, he's phenomenal. Like what he could do with Reed, it's like Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren hard carries the sequel trilogy, and there are moments, man, where you're just like, damn, like dude is like killing it. And honestly, didn't have to go that hard. Probably could have phoned it in a little bit, but he doesn't. He just like goes for it. Adam Driver's an incredible actor. So I would like him, but like, dude, Dev like looks like Reed. I get a Reed vibe from him. Like, I think Dev could be a great Reed Richards. So honestly, as long as they don't go for Matt Smith, I kind of like it between Dev and Adam. Both of those are probably good picks in my opinion. Yeah. Crazy. Looks like Reed? Yeah, motherfucker, I said it. He looks like Reed. Some of you guys, like, I don't know how your eyes work, but it's like some of you guys are like, you go to like skin tone, and then you might not like even like look at anything else. Like, how is Matt Smith at all like Reed Richards, except for the fact that he's white? Like, it's like crazy. Anyway, this is where we're at. You know what I mean? I try not to judge you guys. I just try to understand you guys and make fun of you occasionally. Okay. Let's talk about the fat white guy. So, we've had a lot of discussion about The Thing. Wild range of different types of people considered. From Daveed Diggs to Mila Kunis. And to be honest with you, a lot of those picks just seem a little weird. You know, they're a little strange. Well, apparently, according to Jeff Snyder yesterday on his stream, Marvel's looking for a fat white guy for Ben Grimm. Okay? And I gotta say, sounds about right. You know, honestly wish we had heard it sooner. That sounds perfect. for Reed Richards. No word on who that is, by the way. Your guess is as good as mine. Brendan Fraser for the thing. I mean, I would love Brendan Fraser for the thing. Would you still call Brendan Fraser fat, though? He's lost some weight, hasn't he? I mean, I guess he could put it back on, and the whale was the whale. I'd love Brendan Fraser as the thing, dude. Have I seen Dev Patel act, though? Yeah, I have. I did the Andrew Lincoln as Reed. I mean, Andrew Lincoln could work, yeah. Who else? Who are these fat white guys, you know? Score 1 for the fat white guys, by the way. Let's go, man. Very rare that the fat white guys are truly appreciated for their fatness and their whiteness. You know, it's a rare day. Jack Black. Ooh. I like Jack Black as the Thing. But I think Jack Black as the Thing sucks the air out of the room. Jack Black as the Thing is hotter than Sue Storm and Vanessa Kirby. Vanessa Kirby is a looker. But Jack Black as the Thing, that does it for me. You know that meme where the guy turns away from his girlfriend and is like looking at the other girl and his girlfriend's like shocked? So that's me and Vanessa Kirby in front and Jack Black as the Thing in the back. It's too hot. Talk about sex. Holy shit. It's too much. Who else? Kevin James? I could low-key see Kevin James doing it, yeah. I mean, Kevin James would probably be a pretty good gig, but, like, is Kevin James even doing shit anymore? Like, I feel like he's got so much money from whatever that show was. Like, Kevin James has got to be paid, right? Like, am I crazy? Do I not know things? Joe Rogan. Maybe. Stravos. I mean, they would never work with that guy, but yeah, he would be awesome. Dana White? Dude, Dana White would be perfect. But they cannot, I mean, never mind. I was about to make some fucked up jokes. No, is it 7 o'clock yet? Otis from the WWE. I'm not familiar enough with the WWE to know who Otis is. Sorry. Yeah. Seth Rogen. Bro. Seth Rogen. I don't want that. Do you guys want Seth Rogen? Do you guys want Seth Rogen as the Thing? Nah. Nah, we don't want you. We don't want you here, Seth. And honestly, like, you know, I like Seth doing producing. He's been creating some really great stuff. He's got a hand in The Boys. He's got a hand in Invincible. He's got a hand in the new TMNT. And I think that's great because I don't have to, like, see and hear a lot of them. You know? So I just prefer that. And as long as we get more of that and less of, like, seeing his face and, like, hearing that laugh, yeah. Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman could be great as Ben Grimm. Dude, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Joey Diaz for the... Oh, my God. Joey Diaz would be... But you know what it's going to be. It can't be Joey Diaz. Josh, that's so rude. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I take it back. Joey would be perfect, but they would never let that man do that. They would never let that man do that. Jason Segel would be great. Jason Segel would be great. I like Jason Segel. Bert Crusher. Bert Crusher. Yo, side note on Bert. Has anybody seen that movie with him in, what's its face? Mark Hamill? What's it called? The Machine or whatever? Was it pretty good? Was it good? You heard it's awful? Jonah Hill. Jim Gaffigan. Can you imagine Jim Gaffigan? Butterball, the boxer. Oh, man, I used to like watching Butterball box. I used to like watching Tank Abbott fight in the UFC as well. Dude, if you ever want like a... You know what? I'm just going to... I'm going to do a recommendation. Random internet rabbit hole to fall down. That's really fun. Is watch Tank Abbott's most savage knockouts on YouTube. That's going to be a good time. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you like combat sports, watch some of Tank Abbott's most savage knockouts. Holy shit. He once knocked a dude out of the ring. Like knocked him literally like out of the ring. Almost like a cartoon. The guy from Peacemaker. What? What? Jon Favreau. No. He's happy. Kevin from The Office. I can't see it. Kevin James is playing it seriously. Yeah, that would be great. I do think that would be cool. John Cena. No thanks. Okay, cool. So that's the latest. That's the latest what we have for the thing. Now the other person that everybody's talking about, and I gotta like, let's see here. A couple other things going on. Number one, looks like you are going to be getting Antonio Banderas, and again, this is not confirmed, but apparently Antonio Banderas was offered the role of Galactus, very likely to be Galactus and the lead villain of the movie. Now, also important to note. We've heard from some of the scoopers in the past that the plan is to have different Heralds of Galactus, not the Silver Surfer. So Terrax, the Fallen One, those kind of people. So this guy, Evan Moss Backrock, has reportedly been cast, and a lot of people think he's going to be the Herald. Now, here's my question, because this guy looks super familiar here, but I can't think of where I've seen him before. Who is this dude? What is he in? He's in Andor. Is he really in Andor? And he's in the Bear. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I mean, okay. So, yeah, I think you're looking at Terrax here. Could be Fallen One, but I think you're looking at Terrax here. And I like that. Punisher was his best. What Punisher? Punisher Micro. He's Micro from the Punisher? Are you talking about the one with wait, was he the MCU or the Netflix Punisher? Could be Firelord. I don't know if they do Firelord with Johnny Storm though in like a movie. The Netflix Punisher? Oh shit. Okay. Don't insult the Bear, USOB. I've never seen it. I can't insult the Bear. I've heard it's really good too. So there you go. Netflix Punisher. Cool. Well, that'd be cool. I think Terrax is... I mean, if they go Terrax or Fallen One, I think that's going to be epic as shit. Although, I guess since it's the MCU, maybe they'll call him the Yellow Ranger and change it all around or whatever. And he's the most powerful character in all of Marvel now. Jesus Christ. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. I wonder if there's anything else with regards to this casting. Was there anything else going on with this? I feel like there was something else. Galactus. No Doctor Doom shit, because Doctor Doom's just going to be in the post-credit scene. Maybe not even. Yeah, I think that might be it. I think that might be it. Yeah, man. Okay. Wait, could they use him if he was in the Netflix Punisher, which just can't do none of the Netflix shit is canon, and spoiler alert, the Daredevil show is going to make that pretty fucking obvious. Yeah, we'll see how everybody reacts to that. Yeah, we'll see how everybody reacts to that. That'll be interesting. Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else is going on? What else is going on? Did I miss any other news? Any other crazy things going on there? I mean, Warner Brothers accidentally promoted the canceled Batgirl movie with their new DC film. Idiots. Oh, you know what? One last thing I actually did want to talk about. This is kind of interesting. Well, we could talk about Ahsoka, but like, what else am I going to say about Ahsoka? You know? Like, is there something else that's come out? Is there something else happening? I guess I could watch that trailer, but like, isn't it the same? It's probably a TV spot. I'm telling you, it's probably like 30 seconds. Probably less than 5 seconds of new footage. Mm-hmm. Tons of new images. I mean, I'll check out the Reddit and see if people are talking about it. Not a fan of the Deborah Chow BBL joke on the last stream last week. What was the Deborah Chow BBL joke? I don't even remember. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the strike because there's just something really interesting going on, and I just wanted to bring it to y'all's attention, okay? The studios, you know, whatever that's called, AMPT or AMTP, whatever, they're now agreeing to, like, try to start talks back up with the writers and the actors. But there's this thing that keeps happening every time that this happens, and I just want to, like, put it out there for you guys because this audience and this community, we got some really smart people in here, and so I think some of you guys will appreciate this and, you know, maybe share it with some others. So there was an article that came out, I think, 2 days ago, talking about how Warner Brothers has saved themselves over $100 million since the strike started. I'll drop some coin. You guys want some coin? I'll drop some coin. And so what keeps happening is the studios, every time that the studios and these guilds begin to negotiate again, the studios, and David Zaslav in particular, gets articles written in the Hollywood trades that essentially show the strength of the studio. And I think this is crazy because, like, David Zaslav seems like a fucking Bond villain. Like, who likes this guy? And yet, all the trades and all these people that work for the trades fall right in line and publish articles about the studios having all this power and leverage and all these different things when they're going into a negotiation with the actors. And I just think that's fucked up. I also think the studios themselves are starting to, I think it's called Forge Major. I'm not great at French, but it's the act of God clause in contracts. Forge majeure, I think, that can get you out of a contract. And so they're starting to I think, consider like breaking contracts because of the looming strike. And so we're going into this new negotiation here, but like, I gotta be honest with you, like, I don't know. I get this feeling that like there is no actual negotiation, that like the studio's essentially going to come in and try to bully everybody again. And like these articles and these ideas that the studios are saving money because of the strike. I mean, come on, man. Like, it's just silly. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because it's just so silly. Like, I feel like they can't keep getting away with this, you know? But I guess maybe they can. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Oh, the Ahsoka trailer. Let me go check the Reddit. Let me see if there's anything else cool going on with this. I will say a lot of the images that have come out from like Empire Magazine and other places of the Ahsoka show look fantastic, dude. Like they really look fantastic. Okay, so this is the one from 9 hours ago. Well, that looks cool. So it starts with her fighting the Inquisitor. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's watch this. Let's check this out. Seems cool enough for me.
There are so few Jedi left. She's coming.
Yeah.
Our enemies are multiplying. The galaxy
I like
is
it.
not safe. I could use the help.
It's now or never. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Hunt them down.
This is where it gets interesting.
Get ready. Ready. Ready.
Oh, hell yeah. Chopper being Chopper.
Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere August 23rd, only on Disney+.
All right, dude. That looked pretty fucking cool to me.
There are so few Jedi left.
The one thing I think is so cool about the show, why does this keep popping up? One thing I think is so cool about the show is that from the early footage to even some of the early trailers to now, you can see like a lot of this stuff just looks so much cooler. And it's like little touches here and there. I've said this before, but I'm going to kind of keep saying it. And again, I'm really going to go to bat for the show if it's as good as I think it's going to be. But apparently Dave made animatics or like animations for every single episode. So before he even stepped onto a set, he had animated like the whole show. Like not fully, but like animated it in a way to like help it be exactly what he wanted it to be. And little things from like the glowing color here, like it's just,
She's coming.
it looks like really good. You know, and you compare this to, and at the end of the day, we're going to make all kind of comparisons. I know it's going to upset some of you guys, but it is what it is. We're going to compare this to Kenobi big time because Dave should have just been given Kenobi. It's basically what will be the narrative after this show comes out.
Our enemies are multiplying. The galaxy is not safe.
Like, that looks great, dude. Damn, even that looks great.
It's now or never. Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Hunt them down.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting.
Get ready. Ready. Ready.
Let's go, Chopper.
Ahsoka, 2-episode premiere August 23rd,
Very
only
cool.
on Disney+.
Yeah, man, Star Wars has a way out. Like, they've got a way out. They've got a way forward, and it's Dave Filoni. And I think if this show delivers, man, whew, could really turn some things around. And I hope that's what happens. I mean, dude, we gotta look at some of these photos. These just look so good. People still have an issue with Hera. I don't know. I mean, I think she could look better, but I don't think she looks bad. Ray Stevenson, may he rest in peace. Little loth cat. This shot looks fucking awesome. This shit looks incredible. Epic. Look at this Pittsburgh Yinzer motherfucker there. What a long way. What a long way. Pretty crazy. Oh yeah, I'm excited, man. First 2 episodes together will end up being an hour and 36 minutes and 36 seconds all day. So that's going to be really cool. By the way, I don't do watch parties really anymore, but I will do a watch party for Ahsoka, at least to start with. And if it's awesome, then we'll keep it going. Warhammer vid, Josh. Well, we got 2 videos up on the channel. By the way, thanks so much for all the support on the Warhammer channel. We're like over 1,000 subscribers. I think both videos are in the thousands of views at this point, and I think that's awesome for a brand new channel, so I really appreciate it. We have a video. I think Fernie will probably be getting it to me like today or tomorrow. I plan to drop one early next week. So I'll drop the next one, and then I have my plan for the 4th video. I definitely have something I'm dying to talk about that I want to put into a big video. All about like the Emperor and this planet known as Moloch, and how he stole the power of the Chaos Gods, and because maybe the Emperor is actually this thing known as the Dark King. It's like there's this theory in the Warhammer community that's kind of been bubbling up with some of the latest books. And it's fascinating. So I want to put that all together into a video and hopefully have that maybe out later next week. We'll see. We shall see. Do a Sisters vid. It's going to pop for sure. I think the Sisters have fascinating lore, and I definitely want to talk about them. So, yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else going on? Or should we just check out the, get into the Q&A, check out the chats, super chats, member chats, and then after that we can do some call-ins and we can call it a day? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, I don't really see too much else to talk about. I mean, things are just probably going to be pretty slow until, until Ahsoka, but also until the strikes are done. Yeah, no? Yeah, that might be it. Okay. Okay, let's get into the Q&As, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the show where we say the things that you said. We just watch the new trailer. What? Was there a meeting to end the strike today? I think there will be a meeting today. I don't know if it'll end the strike, but Baldur's Gate 3, ooh, so good, man. Baldur's Gate 3, so good. Rocking a Paladin, man. Ooh, loving the Paladin. I think I'm going to do a Warlock next. Want to try out a Sorcerer, maybe even a Ranger. How can I send you fan mail? You can send me a fan email to thedenofnerds@gmail.com, but you can also send a package to the P.O. Box. The Den of Nerds, P.O. Box 1390, Erie, PA 16512, I think is the, I think that's the P.O. Box, unless I'm mistaken. When's the next Warhammer video? I already said that! Early next week. Probably Monday. Probably drop it on Monday. Yeah, those pretty good videos, though, huh? You guys liking those videos over there? Yeah, they're pretty good, huh? Pretty good. Life Bricks. Welcome back to the Nerd Vengers, baby. Dr. Cool says, all this Marvel news and yet no good Marvel content since Nam. Yeah, those were the days, huh? H. Chris says, what do you mean? The gambling is the content. You don't say that. D. Murdoch says, Diamond Lounge tonight? Hell yeah, brother. We're getting it started at 7 p.m. Josh, I sent you an email. Okay, I'll look out for that email, Mariana. Papa Marco says, you see the rumor about Gosling being cast as the Silver Surfer? Thoughts? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. You know? He was just Ken. Now he's going to be a Silver Surfer. So, sure. Fem says, what do you think about the Stephen Amell stuff? What do I think about the Stephen Amell stuff? I think that Stephen Amell can feel however he wants to feel about it. I think, you know, he was of like, what, 13% or 2% of them that voted against the strike. Whatever. But I think the problem becomes when you like really want to like double down or like, my understanding of this was that he said some stuff. He felt like maybe it got taken out of context. He got a bigger platform to clarify and basically doubled down. That's kind of what happened? And that, I just think, is a bold strategy, Cotton. And we'll see how it all shakes out for him, you know? But yeah, like, look, you can feel however you want to feel about it. You know? Dr. Cool says, Coven of Chaos. Cut. Yeah, dude, just cancel that shit, please. Benjamin says, stop being toxic. They're going to cancel you. JK, all love. Yeah, you know, I was talking to some of my YouTube friends about this yesterday because I've gone absolutely nuts on Twitter because, well, I'm getting paid to. And, you know, it's like a weird, like, here's the thing. Can I just say it like this? I'll talk more about this at the Diamond Lounge stream. But, man, I don't like a lot of the moves that Elon has been making. But I think Elon might have an inside track on human nature that is like better than a lot of other people. Probably because he's not even human. He's probably an alien, which is why he's denying that the aliens are real. So, alien overlord Elon Musk literally like dangling the keys in front of us a little bit. Meaning like, bro, I was already shitposting and giving hot takes for clicks. Now I'm getting paid to do it? Oh, we're going hard. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, literally. Like, bro, it's literally now, Twitter is literally now a race to the bottom of the brainstem for the most ridiculous, you know, engagement hacking, clickbait bullshit you can possibly think of. And yet, like, as gross as that is, and as much as I, like, don't like that, like, fuck it, I'm in. And I was talking to some of my YouTuber friends about this, and I said, you know what? I think Elon actually figured out the secret sauce of YouTube. The secret sauce of YouTube is not actually, like, a lot of the stuff they advertise. The secret sauce is, we'll pay you. And so, like, humans will learn and adjust and adapt and learn the algorithm, which, by the way, YouTube doesn't even understand the algorithm. You know, YouTube doesn't understand the algorithm, but YouTubers understand the algorithm because they make money from it. So, like, bro, you know the real secret, the real trick? And by the way, we don't do Prime streams anymore because I don't like to give away secrets anymore. But I'll tell you this right now. YouTube, everybody says, you know what the trick is with YouTube? Make the best videos possible. Make great videos. That's absolutely not true. That is not true. If you made, objectively speaking, the best YouTube video ever, right? From like a cinematography, from a storytelling, from like an epicness, from like if you reached out, if you did something truly great within the platform of YouTube, I think ultimately you would actually get hurt by the algorithm because you might cause people to leave the platform. Take a moment, fucking consider what they just watched, and that is not what YouTube wants. YouTube wants you to spin the fucking homepage Russian roulette machine and then do it again and again, or keep clicking down rabbit holes that you can't fucking help yourself but click down. Okay, let's reel it back. Let's reel it back and leave it there for now. Point being, I love Twitter. Mr. JB, thanks for the 5 gifted memberships, man. I really appreciate that. D. Murdoch says, you hear Snyder said Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm? Yes. Kyle says, do you think the MCU and Star Wars could be flipping, where Marvel's about to get out of touch and then us getting Ahsoka and the movies if we make it that far? I don't think they're flipping, but I think Marvel's in some seriously dangerous territory. I think Marvel should look to Star Wars and what happened last year with all of its content and how much that has negatively affected the brand, and they should just cancel a lot of this stuff. That's what I think. So we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. Trav says, let's talk about why Marvel should bring Chiklis back to voice a CGI thing. Don't do the stories that feature Ben as a human. I mean, I like Chiklis as the Thing for sure. Great voice for the Thing. Iconic. Really cool. But I think there are other people that could pull it off. I'm not like so attached to Chiklis as Ben Grimm that like I need it or whatever. He's certainly one of the best parts of those old movies. And who knows? Maybe we'll get to see him in like Secret Wars or Deadpool 3 or something like that, right? That would be kind of fun. JJ Lemon, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers, baby. The Exodus says the $10 holla. Very generous, thank you. In the 90s, WWE had a writer named Vince Russo who helped the WWE succeed, but he had filters. He went to WCW and had no filters and torched the company with bad ideas. Was like Pearl Mutter's Feige's filter. It's possible, and I understand what you're talking about here, actually. This is kind of like a nuanced point. It's kind of hard to get. But I would argue that George Lucas created better Star Wars under stricter restrictions. Meaning a lot of the things that kept him from going, like, absolutely nuts, like he did in the prequels, actually kept Star Wars and the vibe of the Star Wars movies more intact. There was more, like, unity. Yeah. And I think when he gets to the prequels, and I actually like the prequels, but I think the prequels are unabated George Lucas, and it's like too fucking much. It's the same problem I have with James Gunn, actually. I think Guardians 1 is an absolutely incredible movie. As it gets a little bit more James Gunny, as James Gunn gets more control, it loses it. Under the restrictions of Marvel's first few phases, I feel like the Gunn formula worked perfectly. You could make the argument that that's exactly what happened with Taika Waititi. Because Taika Waititi comes in and does an incredible movie in Thor Ragnarok. Then probably wrestles a little bit more control. And yeah, Love and Thunder, absolute fucking trash, right? So sometimes really great creative minds work better with restrictions. And the point that the Exodus is making is that Ike Perlmutter applied a bunch of different restrictions on Kevin Feige. And look, here's what's crazy. It's like I saw somebody talking about this. I think it was Chillmonger. Was talking about this on Twitter and said, imagine being the guy that went to Ike Perlmutter for 10 years trying to get T'Challa into the MCU. And that's Kevin Feige. So Kevin Feige wanted Black Panther in the MCU almost immediately. Ike Perlmutter was like, hell nah, fam, and just wouldn't let it happen, okay? But then 10 years later, Feige gets it, and then the actor dies, and Feige's like, well, I guess that's it for T'Challa. It feels really weird. Now, these are kind of like not the same point, but maybe some of the restrictions that were on Feige, little did we know, actually ended up causing some of the brilliance to shine through. Like, would Black Panther have been as prolific, as incredible, and as impactful as it was had it actually come out right alongside the other movies? I don't know. But yeah, it's possible, man. It is possible. Dominic says, I just renewed my membership. I'm loving all the content. Thanks for all the laughs during your live stream. It's definitely needed sometimes. Nerd Ventures for life. Yeah, thanks, man. Look, I'm a pretty wild dude. And I hope that, like if you're taking me, like, dead-ass serious 100% of the time, like, you've got to understand, I'm being snarky, I'm being silly, I'm being straight-up fucking mean, but to be funny. I'm trying to, like, be funny. I'm trying to keep it light. I'm trying to put on a goddamn show, basically, okay? So I hope you're not, like, actually offended or butthurt about me. Yamacorp says, hey Josh, awesome job on the Warhammer channel. Also, I'm at 6 months. How do I join the Diamond Lounge? So you got to hit somebody up on the Discord. Hit somebody up on the Discord. They will get you into the lounge. If you don't hear from anybody, reach out to me later on tonight on Twitter or Discord. I'll try to get you in there, okay? Thanks for the love, man. Prince Zodiac says, when the comics copy movies equal everyone is good. When the movies copy the comics equal they have to cut checks to writers and creators. Adaptations cost money. Yeah, no, I agree that adaptations cost money. And I saw that was a potential issue with Marvel. But I don't the Miss Marvel thing is like throwing a wrench into that narrative. Right? But maybe here's what I can't understand. Is Kevin Feige 4D chessing this? Where, essentially, the plan to make Miss Marvel a mutant comes from a production note on a show. Therefore, no writer is credited with it. The idea itself is essentially attributed to Feige. And then by adapting that idea into the comics and mandating it, it's not created by any writer, so therefore no royalties are required for the idea. Did we just figure that out? The original comic creator of Ms. Marvel was a producer on the show. Yeah, but I know that came from Feige. It didn't come from the writer. I know that for sure because there's interviews about talking about this. That is strange. Maybe that is the difference. See Bespin Bulletin? Okay, what's up with the Bespin Bulletin? What are they talking about? Did they just drop something? Dude, what? Master and the Apprentice. That's interesting. What's Bespin talking about? Dead Obi-Wan Kenobi will reportedly feature in-fight between Anakin Skywalker and... Yeah, no, we already know this, though. We already know this. Should I explain it? I mean, everybody knows this, right? Maybe not. Sup, nerdy one. This is kind of spoilery, but should I just explain what's going on? Oh, you didn't know there'd be a dead Obi-Wan? Okay. So, yeah, maybe we didn't know about the dead Obi-Wan thing. So this will come in during the World Between Worlds scene. Ahsoka will be shown an alternate version of the future where she and Kenobi go together to confront Anakin on Mustafar. And Kenobi is killed in front of Ahsoka, and then young Ahsoka attacks Anakin, and they have the Mustafar battle. It's going to be like a younger Ahsoka fighting against Anakin on Mustafar. But that's all seen within the World Between Worlds. So it's like an alternate timeline. It's to show Ahsoka that no matter what she does, certain things like have to happen. And it's like all about like the cosmic force and like the threads being pulled together and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, like I don't fully understand it. I've been told a lot of different things. But hell yeah, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing that on screen. It's going to be cool. So. Let's see here. D. Murdoch says, I definitely see Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, but I want Rudy Pankow from Outer Banks, would be perfect. I'm sure he's hot enough. Who is this motherfucker? Rudy Pankow? Rudy Pankow. Rudy Pankow. Who's this dude? What show is this guy from? Outer Banks. Nope, too young. I mean, some of the shots he could look like it. Yeah, I can see that. Some of the shots I could see it. No, I want Joseph Quinn now. J Mike Gaming says, "Screw you, Josh. Because of you, I went and checked out the Warhammer store by my shop or by my house. $500 later, I don't know what happened, but I think I'm happy now. I don't know. LOL. Yo, what did you get? What are you building? What army are you representing? What, J Mike, you can't leave me hanging like that, bro. $500. It's a nice start. You know, that's a nice little start to an army. But what's the army? You got Warhammered, bro. I know, right? Star Wars Multiverse and Ahsoka? Not really. More like understanding Destiny in a very interesting way. It's just a visual way to understand Destiny as opposed to just being told about it. You know, like show, don't tell kind of stuff. What? He's not telling me what army? What? Come on, man. Hey, thanks, Nerdy One. I appreciate that. I'll get into that in just a second, too. Rosie says Stravos is the thing. Yeah, that would be really cool, man. Ryan says Action Bronson as the thing. Yo, I love Action Bronson, bro. I fucking love Action Bronson. Who would be a better hang than Action Bronson? Real talk. Who on this planet could be a better hang than Action Bronson? You tell me, chat. Who? Lizzo. My God. No. Post Malone? That's a good fucking pick. That's a good fucking pick, actually. Holy shit. Oh, damn you, Axid! Eric Andre? Cardi B? No, thank you. David Harbour? Why? Megan Fox? No comment. Y'all seen Post lately? He does look a little sickly. I don't know exactly what's going on, but dude, Posty, I mean, like, the thing is, like, Posty plays Magic the Gathering, too. So, like, bro, chilling at Post Malone's place, doing all sorts of illicit substances with him, and playing Magic the Gathering late into the night sounds like one of the coolest experiences one could have. And then, like, a late night, like, food run with Posty. Now you're talking my language. Yeah, you see you got the one ring? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, of course. Of course. Like, I really like Henry Cavill, and I'd love to play Warhammer with Henry Cavill, but I don't know if Henry Cavill's like a really chill hang. Like, it feels like there's an edge there. You know what I mean? Like a, you know? Rosie says we can't have Dana White slapping female villains on screen. I know, right? It'd be pretty crazy. Dirt Wizard says starting the stream late today, but I'm sure future me thinks it's a great stream. LOL. Have a great day. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. D Murdoch says he plays Micro. Yeah. Dirt Wizard says it's my birthday today, so I'm sending you and the family some weekend coffee and donut money. Just sharing the birthday love. Take my money. Hey, Dirt Wizard, I appreciate it, man. Can we get some happy birthdays in the chat for Dirt Wizard? My man. Corso Tavern. It's okay. I had Subway. What? What the fuck? D Murdoch says, I'm so worried for Disney, Daredevil, and Punisher. Yeah, a little bit me too. Harris McGrady says, is Filoni even in the WGA? He's mainly been focused on animation, so it makes sense for him not to be. I'm pretty sure he's WGA. Maybe Disney has been doubling down on writing Dave stuff since the strike have been going on. I mean, I like the logic there, but nah, man, I don't think so, bro. I'm pretty sure he's WGA'd. D Murdoch says, where in the Discord can I go to get in the diamond? You're gonna have to hit up one of the moderators. They will get you there, man. Chillin says today's meeting is to negotiate when they will restart negotiations. Just the writers starting to have heretical thoughts about Feige. Take my money, Nerd Avengers for life. I know it's tough, man. I just need it clarified. I just need something to. I need it to make sense. J Mike Gaming says, did you see Disney catching heat for canceling one of their shows about Turkey? What? Their IG comment sections on all posts were going crazy. No, I didn't see that. I have no idea what that's about. Maybe I'll look into it, though. Tell me what army you're playing. Lonzo, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers. Steve says, aliens are real. Independence Day was right. Prime for life. Heart. Hey, thanks, brother. Yeah, it seems like aliens are real. We're apparently, too, by the way, they're actually going to start unsealing even more stuff, and even more stuff is going to come out in the next year. And it all seems pretty crazy to me. So I'm excited. Also, seriously think Elon's probably an alien. I just really think that. Mariana says, if Disney was smart, they should have greenlit Book of Boba Fett or Kenobi Season 2 with Dave at the helm. I agree with that. They are out of touch. P.S. I sent you an email on Monday, Josh. Okay, cool. I'll check that out. But honestly, I'm pretty bad with emails, unfortunately. Frostrodamus says, as always, banger stream. Love the Warhammer channel as well. Question, why don't you like Penn Badgley for Reed? I don't necessarily hate Penn Badgley. I don't have much experience with the guy. Like, I don't think I've watched anything he's been in, and he just seems like he needs a sandwich and to get under a barbell, if I'm being honest with you. But like, Reed's not obviously like the biggest guy, but I mean, like, come on, man, like, get under a barbell. Samuel says, a lie is a fallen angel description. Rapture of True. Jesus Christ. Okay, thanks for that. Obi says, Obi gifted a membership. Jedi Jen gives 5 membership. Let's go. And then the nerdy one says, it's toxic. One of Theory's editors on the burner account. Just wanted to say that you're hilarious, bro. I crack up when I edit Nerd Theory clips. I really appreciate that, man. And, I think a lot of the edits and stuff that you do are really good, really clever. And as somebody that edits and that, works with my own editors, mad respect for the craft. So I appreciate it, man. I do. You know what? I'm going to go out and say it. I do think I'm kind of funny. Okay. J Mike Gaming says, got the Leviathan box, got a transport and a tank for the Space Marines. Nice. Got my wife on the Tyranids and some terrain. Damn, dude, you did go hard. Okay. That's cool. I've got I play Dark Angels and Custodes, and I've got a really massive Custodes force, and my Dark Angels not as much, but I did get the Leviathan box as well. But I really only built like the Terminators and some of the Shield captains and stuff like that from it. But I really like Dark Angels. I want to play more with my Dark Angels, but like Custodes are just so good. It's tough to not play Custodes, man. Yeah. Let's see here. D Murdoch says, like, you can't see yourself doing blinkers with Cavill. No, that's the thing, is like, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, does homie even get down like that? He seems and because he was Superman for a long, long time, I feel like he had to have the, So, I don't know. The Dark Knight says, how's it going, Papa Josh? Just wanted to say thanks for another great stream. Much love, Nerd Avengers for life. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Jedi Jen says, I tell you what, Josh, I will go hang out with Henry Cavill and let you know how it goes. Nice. Nerd Avengers for life. That's funny. I appreciate you. Dirt Wizard says, I hope Matt Smith is Doom or some other villain. I actually like Matt Smith as Doom. I think it'd be great as Doom. I can't see him as Reed. I don't see it. I can't see it. Okay, should we do a couple call-ins, man? Should we do a few call-ins? See what's on your guys' minds? Has any other crazy news happened while we were live? No? Hang on. I got to put on this other air conditioner for just a second. Whew! Gets hot in the tower, man. Tell you. Okay. Their Avenger stage. Here we go. Start the stage. All right, I started the stage on the Discord. So I'm gonna just do 3, guys. I'm gonna just do 3 today, okay? And hopefully we can do more in the future. In fact, we can even do some at some point. Like, you know what I really like doing is I like the call-ins where we do it on the Nerd Avenger stream and we get like a lot of people in there and we just talk a lot. I think that's pretty cool. If there's nothing crazy going on next week, maybe we'll do that. You know what I mean? You gotta raise your hand also if you want to get called on here, guys. Let's get Chillin' on the call. Chillin'!
Do you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. What's up, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm actually, thank you. Have a good one. Actually, door dashing right now, so I'm multitasking.
There you go.
Cool, because I do driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's nice.
Uh-oh. Dude, what? Wait, you're breaking up a little bit.
Well, here's how Disney fucked the center. Just don't.
Yo, Chill, you're breaking up a little bit. You disappeared for a second, and then you literally just come up with like, fucking Disney. Like, oh, that was funny, brother. You want to call me back when you get some better service, or you driving towards some more towers, some bars or whatever? Yo, that was funny, bro.
I'm actually sitting still. How is it now? Are we good?
Okay, yeah, it seems better. It seems better. What were you saying?
All right, good. Well, I was saying it's nice to actually finally have some news to get excited about instead of coming on and being like, okay, well, here's how Disney fucked up, or here's how Lucasfilm fucked up, or here's how Marvel fucked up, or here's how Sony fucked up, or here's how DC fucked up.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of glad they're holding off on Reed till they get everyone else set, because, I mean, even though they're saying Sue Storm's going to be the narrative focus of the movie, I mean, well, first of all, if you got everyone else first, then you got to figure out who's going to have the appropriate chemistry with them.
Sure.
But on top of that, you still need someone who can who has that gravitas, so you cannot fuck around with the Reed Richards role.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, look, it's the Fantastic Four. So like the movie it's going to be an ensemble film, but I think what they're really saying is like the early part of the narrative will drive through her perspective, which makes perfect sense. Like I don't really have an issue with it. It does get me a little bit worried, as I said, just because of the optics and everything. But yeah, it should be fine, man.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for right now. That one's not really a concern. I had to jump out of the stream, but I'm sure you saw my super chat said I was having heretical thoughts about Feige.
Yeah,
I'm starting to have heretical thoughts about Feige, and I don't fucking like it.
I know. Well, yeah, no, I agree with you. And dude, one thing I'll say on that is like, bro, like I've really come to appreciate how important San Diego Comic-Con is for the entire Marvel machine. I don't know if you guys are feeling this way or not, but like it made me realize we sort of need that recentering, like hype shit, like, yo, this is the future. Like it's actually really important to the entire Marvel formula. And without that, this year has felt mad weird, like very different. So, yeah, I don't know. Chillin'? Are you still there? Chillin'? Chillin'? All right, brother. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna take you on out of there. I'm gonna get Kendall on here. It might have been your, I'm not sure. Just your service or something like that. Kendall! What's up, man? How you doing?
I wasn't actually going to call in today, but it's kicking rocks on Discord and popped in, and here I am. So
There you go. There you go. What's on your mind?
man, I got a lot of stuff on my mind, bro. What's on my mind really though, like hype over the Loki trailer. Like
Yeah.
it gets me, like it's got me back hype, right?
Yeah.
One of my biggest problems, like I'm a theory dude, so like
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my biggest problems with being a theory person is that the biggest question mark is around the villain of the whole effing FEIGE.
I know.
Like, but to be real, you've seen on your end, like my end, I've seen very positive things about them keeping majors in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because like just 2 months ago they were taking him out of the Ant-Man promotional stuff for Disney
Yeah.
Plus, and now like they got him in
Yeah.
the trailer. So like, dude,
Yeah.
do you think they're kind of like this is maybe a sign, or is it just like a lucky
Yeah.
mistake for them? Because I think it was kind of a dub.
So it is a sign, but I think this is actually kind of interesting because from what I've heard, there's a difference between how Marvel feels about this and how Disney feels about this. So like with the Ant-Man Quantumania stuff, right? At that point, a lot of that distribution and that promotion is coming from like a really Disney place, right? But the trailer, that being cut, I think is more Marvel, right? So I think if anything, it shows that a lot of people at Marvel still want majors. And it also shows that maybe some people at Disney feel differently about that. And as far as like the majors thing goes, I don't know. It's really interesting. He just had he had another court appearance and he actually won, or rather was granted the delay that he was looking for. And they're trying to put together like another big case or whatever. There's a scenario in which in September it ends up looking really good for Jonathan. I'm just like still really on the fence, man, kind of like either way. So yeah, we'll see though.
Yeah, I'm not at the point of making a decision to like, whether or not I want to fully, fuck with this guy or not. Right. But at the end of the day, like with so much questions in the air, it just felt like a different move from Marvel and Disney than what we've gotten so far in the whole phase.
Yeah.
And
True.
just to have him pop up like that, like imagine a trailer with no Kang. Like that would have felt a lot,
I
just
agree.
way off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think there's part of the reason that they delayed Loki just in general was because I think because of that exact point you made where it's like, how do you separate that? I don't think you can release the show in its current form without majors. So like they made the decision a while ago. They're going with majors for this show at least. And what I was told is they're going to be looking at how the show performs, and that might weigh in on the decision they make. The court case is only part of it, right? Because technically he could win his day in court, and Disney could still feel this is not somebody we want to be front facing, because it's not just like he's a part of it. He's like the whole thing, So it's like a really tricky situation for them. And I also think the Flash bombing as horribly as it did is like, unfortunately not good for majors, because the studios, they're very derivative in their thinking. And so they just see that as like, well, they took a gamble on a controversial lead, you know what I mean? And it cost them hundreds of millions of dollars.
It's interesting because I think it's like kind of a completely, as much as some situations are similar, I hate to say it, but the fact of like race and the whole situation around like this instance of the woman accusing Jonathan of doing this, it makes it a different situation that maybe works in Major's favor when it comes to the court of public opinion. Like, I don't necessarily want to go down that rabbit hole, but like when you think about like Ezra Miller and the stuff that he's in just the whole political stuff that he's in as to other people have reasons to not like him on both sides. I think it works better in Major's favor to kind of give him a better chance of not bombing, because people would be more apt to support him in a way.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. I think like with Ezra, like, so one of the things is, and it's such a tricky one, man, because it's like you want to draw the line between like generalizations and like like I don't want to say like bigotry, but like prejudice, right? That's probably the best way to say it. So like when it comes to Ezra has acted in a lot of ways over the years before any of this even came out that already sort of turned some people off, right? Where they had a prejudice against him, maybe just because of like how weird homie was, right? And like how just really like flagrant with a lot of his self-expression had become. And then you have these things, and I think there was a section of people that were already turned off by this guy that were looking for a reinforcement of their bias or even their prejudice and found it and it fit, you know, perfectly together. And I do think that's a part of it. But I also think that like Ezra did things that eclipsed that whole conversation and took the mainstream perspective and narrative into just one direction. Like these are just, it was just too many things that were really fucking controversial, like, you know, like minors, fucking actual injuries, going to people's houses and threatening them. Like these are things that like it almost doesn't matter where you stand politically or whatever. Like that shit is that's a bridge too far. And I think when it comes to majors, I think like what you're really saying is that especially a lot of you know, fans that are black have a perspective on majors that is a lot more sympathetic, considering what has come out from the court case thus far, which I think is probably fair. The question becomes, does that become the actual mainstream narrative on Jonathan? And that I'm not so sure about, because
I think the mainstream one, oh my bad.
No, all I was going to say is like, I think his lawyers have kind of fucked that up for him. I think the text messages did not look good, you know? And so like this whole idea that they have all of this evidence that suggests that, you know, Majors is innocent. And yet they put out, one of the first things they put out was like so off-putting. You know what I mean? Like that whole text message exchange that like, I think they put themselves on the back foot. They could ultimately still get there. I guess it's just going to depend on what happens next month, but those are my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't think the path, just based on like how Twitter and how social media works, I don't necessarily think the path of how we get to where we're going to get is necessarily going to be as prevalent as to like the lasting message. And I don't know, like I'm just kind of viewing this from like the mindset of when I look on Facebook's a lot more toxic than a lot of people give it credit for. But when I look over there, you see the folks talking, you see, white men talking about this being an attack on men, comparing this to Johnny Depp.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like
that's
you
true.
have that whole kind of Johnny Depp hoorah type of thing with it when he comes out of it, which I think would really help him above more than what you got with.
That's fair, because a lot of people have that attitude, and some of the people I've argued with this, whether publicly or behind the scenes, like a lot of them, they do have that perspective and they bring up that Johnny Depp thing, and I think that there is a lot of sort of like energy out there in the zeitgeist that's like, oh, there's a lot of like anti-male stuff that happens, and I think there's truth there. I guess it just depends, man. Like, because a lot of those same people, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that actually don't give a shit about Marvel whatsoever that are maybe chiming into that conversation because of their own biases and because of what they think's going on. Yeah, I guess we'll just see.
I don't know. It's just also interesting too, because we're in the middle of the MCU, stuff, and kind of giving, say this word to go on, and they keep Majors. That's like a kind of different move than what you would expect from someone going full on MCU. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a whole bunch of different political stuff that I think Disney and Marvel has themselves in the middle of, which like it's just ridiculous. It's kind of funny at this point.
Yeah, it sucks. But I think, like, dude, like I think about this all the time, right? And I think partially, dude, this is like their inability to like just speak frankly or come out and like just try to be like more open about these sort of things. And I think that a lot of these corporations have viewed, because they have a lot of people that are probably in like positions of power that are lensing things from, maybe you could call it a more liberal perspective, but it's more like a Silicon Valley perspective. They're, putting these things into categories that really don't belong. And that was like Star Wars, I think, mistake early on was like taking a lot of criticism of their movies in Rey and like putting it into the bucket of sexism or putting it into the bucket of like bigots and all that sort of stuff. And for whatever reason, like Disney doesn't seem willing or able to get out and talk to people without holding on to like a sense of authority. They want to talk down to their audience and not be talked down to by their audience. And yeah, it's done a lot of damage, man, and it's really, really weird. I mean, I don't necessarily understand the perfect way out of the solution, but I think you just like, you got to like feel the audience and like make some changes while not necessarily engaging in the discourse. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I think at the end of the day too, man, like once their quality gets back, like this shit's just different. Like, you know what I mean? Like you make some bangers, you give me a good 2-year run of bangers, and we're not talking about this shit unless it's really big, like major news that's gonna fuck shit up. Like, and then it's a completely different story. Then I mean, I'm big on it. I know you've seen me talk about it, but like with Twitter, like Twitter's just not going anywhere. Like to me, no matter what Elon does, to me, no matter if whatever name he changes it to, as long as he doesn't do some like completely hateful shit, Twitter's not going anywhere because there's nothing out there that can.
Yeah, I mean, he
proved
realized
that.
Yeah,
and Threads proved that too because
Threads did prove that.
Yeah, because I have people, man, like people in my journalism circle were just like when I made that switch to say Threads is going to die. Like because I was big on Threads and I made it sound like, dude, this isn't going to last. Like people just begging for it to work because I think it just fits better into what they believe. But now they're back on Twitter because there's nothing like it out there. Same shit with Chick-fil-A, the sandwiches. People hate Chick-fil-A's messages, but shit, you're not going to find a Chick-fil-A sandwich out there.
100%.
So
100%.
So I think like if Disney taps into that and like just kind of just says, yo, it doesn't matter. Like if we provide this like strong service type shit, yeah, like we can't be out here being hateful or like dickheads or anything. But as long as we're doing our service shit, we'll be straight.
No, I agree. Dude, it's like literally one of the first things I wrote in the script for the video I was working on before all the Fantastic Four was coming out is I was talking about the concept of winning fixes everything or winning solves everything. And like you hear this a lot when it comes to sports teams. So the idea is like all sports teams have issues and problems, but if you're winning, all of those get overlooked. They don't become talking points. But if you're losing, every little thing gets examined under the microscope as like, what part does this play in the failure? So it's the same thing with Marvel. And I think you're absolutely right. But that's why shows like Echo and Agatha and Ironheart and all of these shows, that's why those shows are actually the biggest danger to Marvel Studios moving forward. Because they're going to prevent us from getting back to just winning. And I think Deadpool 3 has a serious shot to like jolt the MCU back to life. And, you know, I think Captain America 4 could actually be incredible and like show us that like, oh man, they can actually make compelling shit with this new group of Avengers. And that's cool. And even Thunderbolts has a chance to be absolutely rocking and rolling. But if you keep all of these horrible shows, or just maybe they're not even horrible, maybe they're just not great. And at a time they're just not great. And like people are like over it. So I think you're right. Like winning solves everything. And I think they got to get back to winning. Secret Invasion to me sort of proved to me that like, bro, they can't fix these shows because they spent $200 million on this thing. This thing was reshooting earlier this year again. They did everything they could. They dumped money into it. They made it the best possible version of Secret Invasion they possibly could, and it was still mid as fuck, and people hated it. People hated it. So it's like, bro, stop. You can't fix these shows. Just cancel them. They are going to hurt your brand. At least that's my opinion, you know?
Dude, for the first time with Secret Invasion, like, you know, these shows would come out and like you talk to your normie people out there, like who are like just working or whatever, like not tapped into social media, and they're like talking about the shows not being that bad. Like, you know, it's pretty good. It's good. Like I've heard that about pretty much every show that like my normie friends have watched. But in Secret Invasion, these normie friends went downhill by the episode, bro. So like when I'm telling you like Secret Invasion is the first show, like they didn't watch She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Like they didn't watch that stuff. But like Nick Fury drew them in to watch. And when I tell you like they're like, bro, like the fuck happened in that secret just watching the decline and they're like, what the fuck happened in that season finale? I'm just like throwing my hands up and like, you know, you try to save face and be like, man, but Sam Jackson did his thing, but like that's not what the fuck we want. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, I don't know. Like, do you think there's a chance they'll just drop them shits at one time, like Agatha? Like as we get to
that's
it,
probably
like
the best.
The echo treatment.
Yeah, that's probably the best solution, and I guess that could be what they do. But again, I really think that's still destructive. Like,
it is.
It still gives ammunition. Like, people are still gonna make videos about it. People are still gonna say the MCU's dead. They're gonna like dance on the like. Echo is like this is what's so crazy is like the Marvels and Echo. There are people right now that are planning their content around it, maybe irregardless of what the content actually is, and they will crush with views, and the narrative will continue. And the one thing that could stop that is not releasing any more mid-ass content and actually just releasing fire, right? But instead, the narrative will be occasionally Marvel can still make good things, but it's mostly dead. And that'll be what they push because that's going to get attention, clicks, etc. And like, I just don't understand. Like, if they don't get that, and if they don't understand that that's actually going to do some serious damage to them, then like, bro, they're just not with it, like to that level. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I'm gonna hop off here, but like my last thing, I just really hope they're looking at what's happening now, like just the shit that's come out with Deadpool. Like they have not dropped anything official for it, but Deadpool invigorated the fan base. You know what I mean? Like those leaks. You look at what happened with the Loki trailer, like the most views out of anything. You know what I mean? Like when you look at that stuff now, the Fantastic Four is going. Like they need to look and see what's really getting us going. Like what their audience that's actually here is actually looking at, instead of, you know, tell them to go look at how people are reacting to this Aubrey Plaza shit. You know what I mean? Like go look
well,
at
that's
that
the other
shit,
thing.
right?
No, I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you, and I think a lot of people think like I've flipped and I've gone toxic, and I'm like, no, like I'm actually trying to send up the smoke signals. Like I'm actually trying to help, because there's a pocket of fans out there, and the pocket of really, maybe we should say this for the Diamond Lounge, but the real talk is, Kendall, it's a pocket of scoopers that have bought farms of fake accounts that boost their own shit, so we don't even get an accurate look at how the fans are acting. And they're talking about why it's so cool that Aubrey Plaza is the bisexual ex partner of Agatha. And I'm like just trying to cut through the bullshit and be like, hey, listen, kids, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck.
Nope.
Like, that is stupid as shit. Nobody cares about that. So I'm trying to help us through this dark time period, Kendall, you know, and taking a lot of slings and arrows.
It's rough. It's rough. But like it gives us hope. But then again, we get like you take 2-3 steps forward. But then again, like they want to slap us in the face like with this Aubrey Plaza shit, and then we're gonna have to get slapped in the face. And we're gonna get slapped in the face. It's like you buy Miz and you just gotta smoke it until it's all gone. So you know, either way,
I've been
man.
there. All right, brother.
I've held a lot of your time, man. So let me hop on out, man. It's a good talking with you.
No worries. Appreciate you, bro. Let's get Mas into here. Mas, what's up? Mas, I'm bringing you on the call. You want to talk about Dune? I talk about your Warhammer army? Mas!
Hey, can you hear me?
I got you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's getting a little hot in here, but I'm okay.
Well, and I wasn't going to talk about Dune or Warhammer, but now that you bring it up yet again, you like another thing that's completely a derivative of Dune. Yeah, you can't get into Dune like that, which low-key pisses me off. But that's
I like Dune.
non sequitur.
I like Dune.
Not as much as you like the derivatives, though. And I find that interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I think, though, that's like saying, jazz to hip hop or something like that, right? Because is it like, just leave me alone. I like Warhammer. It's fun.
No, I mean, you like what you like. But actually, I was not here to talk about that. I've
Okay.
been thinking
What do you want
a
to talk
lot.
about? Yeah.
You have to forgive me because I'm not as like educated with this strike thing, but I found it interesting that you brought up like the force majeure and how these companies are saving a ton of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also then you and Kendall have this like long conversation about the Disney Plus content, and that's really interesting. But in my head, like the strike has to do with the streaming.
Yes.
And the content. And a part of it is these writers and these actors, they want to start getting in on the back end of that because that keeps supplementing their income even when they don't have work.
Yes.
So, and then my head after that goes to nothing. One of my favorite quotes is that you're not the same after you come out of a storm. That's the nature of a storm, right? Like the nature of the storm is to change things and progress things. So where do you see streaming and content going after that? And do you see it being for the better? Because the last strike I remember, reality TV became all the rage. Like Andy Cohen came up with the Housewives, and like we were watching television garbage for the next 2 years. I still am, but that's like a me problem, not everybody else problem.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't know. It's a really interesting one. I think that I mean, look, I think Hollywood has been, because I've been seeing all these I'm sure you have as well, but like really interesting interviews and insight, you know, being given by a lot of these different actors, and a lot of them are like sharing their royalty checks, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the truth is like Hollywood has sort of always done really weird, shady stuff. So like, for instance, I just saw a thing about how something like after 3 seasons, a show, due to contracts, you would be required to like pay a lot more, basically. So a lot of the studios, and Disney's done this a lot, is they'll run a show for like 3 seasons and then like cancel it and do a different show that is essentially the same show, just called something different. And they do that so that they don't have to like pay these royalties or do that, right? Some of this comes down to business, and it's almost like you have to think of these as entities. And the entity of the corporation is trying to look for every angle it possibly can to profit. And I think the job of the union of the actors is to identify when the entity known as the corporation is sort of trampling on their rights or making it unfair for them, right? And that's like the negotiation, and like how you get there is interesting because they've done this many times before, and hopefully they can do it again and like redo this. But this one feels unique because of streaming. And the streaming thing is really weird because the reason these royalty checks are so low is because you're not actually getting a check from Netflix. You're getting a check from Warner Brothers of the licensing fee that they get from Netflix. And so it's like a totally different way of figuring it out. And I don't know if there's a way for the companies to keep creating content in the way they are and actually be able to pay these people properly. So I don't know. I don't know what this does. I think from the studio's perspective, I bet they really wish AI was further along because they seem to be really committed to it.
100%.
But like AI is not there yet. Like it can't do that. And even the best AI shit today requires a lot of human crafting and care, right? So like they're not close to that, but they really wish they were, because I don't think they'd have a singular problem cutting out all of these fucking people, right? So I don't know. Maybe you see more animation. Maybe you see more smaller movies. Maybe you see bigger, like less frequency of shows, but bigger shows. Maybe you actually see a lot more original content that's aimed at really like low, let's say just low cost productions, meaning like, you know, new upcoming writers, developers, producers, writers, actors, etc. Because maybe it becomes less attractive to actually license this like legacy media because of the new negotiations, and so they go in a different direction. I'm not really sure. I think that's like the whole thing. Do you have any thoughts? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Oh, I am both kind of horrified at all prospects, right? Like, I'm kind of a believer in the uncanny, like I just, the uncanny valley, not just with imaging, but like with written word and with writing, and kind of like removing aspects of human creativity out of it. Like, I'm not completely against it, but I'm like petrified of it because of where it could go. And I personally think that's healthy. I think you should have a healthy dose of fear when dealing with stuff like this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to write it off completely, because like you harp on this a lot. It's a tool. Tools can be used for good and tools can be used for bad.
Yeah.
And then I'm also afraid of like, I'm both afraid and I'm really, really excited for like the creativity lull, like just the garbage stuff that they put out, because again, I really love television garbage. I think it's gold. Like, reality TV, Love Island, like, give me all of that. Just give me all of that. But also, like, I also kind of like to think I'm highbrow, and I like my highfalutin art as well. And it's like, you know, we just had Oppenheimer, which is pretty creative and actually really good. I was surprised. I thought, like, how can this movie be this good? It's just people talking in rooms. But Christopher Nolan yet again surprised me. Yeah. And then it's like, I'm kind of everywhere with it. You blame it on ADHD, blame it on like trying to actually think about it from many standpoints. I hope that when we come to the other side of it, we have like a creative renaissance, and, you know, new things come out, and Marvel comes back. I'm really excited for the Fantastic Four movie from what I'm hearing about it. And Claire Foy is actually, it's Claire Foy, right? No, it's the other one that was in The Crown.
Yes, it's Vanessa Kirby. Vanessa Kirby's
amazing. She's amazing.
She's pretty good.
So it's like, I want them to do it, but I also think that these corporations and these people whose job it is to make money are going to do whatever it is to do that. So it's like, that's why I'm on here asking you for opinions, because apparently I don't have a decent one.
No, I mean, I think you're spot on. The thing is, there's so many moving parts, and like, like, I probably, like many of you, have all sorts of thoughts about this, because I'm not a Hollywood person, right? It's like, one of my first thoughts was like, well, why do the actors get royalties but not the crew? Do you know what I mean? Like, like I don't even understand the current system and how that's even fair. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't even get that. And then like, you've got the facts are, it really is just like everything else. It's like the 80-20 rule. So like, you've got 20% of the actors in Hollywood doing 80% of the roles and getting the gigs and making the money, right? So it's like, it's already not fairly distributed. And I think actually, like, if it was really more about like setting a floor for this like 86% of people that are you know, making less than $26,000 a year or whatever, and if it was really about like putting like a floor at that and like giving people like a living wage, I don't know, I almost feel like that would attract more people, and people would be like, that's pretty common sense. But the reality is that's not even what it is. It feels more like the top echelon of actors, the real movers and shakers that are essentially the most important part of the studio's machine as far as like making the big hits, those people aren't getting paid properly on the back end. If they were, I don't even think you'd have a strike. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, you see a lot of people on Twitter try to claim like, oh, this is about the 86% of people. And it's like, well, then if Dwayne Johnson can give millions of dollars during a strike to support that organization, but not doing anything to try to actually lift up the livelihoods of like that 86%, then like, what are we doing here? This feels like I just think that, like many of you, I probably have all kinds of like questions, and I don't even know who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, like what is happening here. And it's like, it's pretty easy to just say, and I have actually said this before, but it's pretty easy to just say, I hope they get fair compensation. But what does that even fucking mean? Nobody knows what that means. That's what the strike's about. But you literally have people just every day saying that, and it's more like cheerleading than it is actually progress. But whatever.
Well,
what do we
and it's
know?
like, okay, here's the other thing about it. Like, you and Kendall were talking about Jonathan Majors and, like, saying it from a male point of view, which is fair. But, like, I feel like the women in the music industry have kind of had a harder week.
True.
And it's like with Ariana Grande and then with Lizzo, I'm like, well, am I really surprised that either one of these women are, like, not the best people? Like, am I really surprised that any of these people are doing the things that they're doing? Because we're putting all these people on a pedestal, and at the end of the day, like, they're just people. So it's like, I'm trusting and I'm invested in this system because I like entertainment, I like stories, but then it's like, do I want to support anybody in this situation?
Yeah,
like,
it's fair. It's fair. And I think the thing with, with the women, it is interesting because I'm not quite, I think we all have like, our own biases, right? And like things. And I've been very publicly, like, one of my biases against Jonathan Major is that he's an actor. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, it's true. Like, I have a thing with actors, and I think they're all a little fucking crazy and weird and not like me. And so like, I have a thing with them, right? And it's like, I'm not sure what's going on with these women. I think maybe partially with Ariana Grande, it's like my strong dislike of like home wrecking and that whole idea, right? But like, yeah, you're right. Like, I just have really strong negative feelings.
Your girlfriend.
I know. Well, that's the thing is, like, she honestly should probably get off a little easier than Lizzo because she wasn't even hiding that shit. You know what I mean? But like Lizzo, from what I understand, her whole brand was like body positivity, and like acceptance and shit. And she's over here like yelling at people like Homelander was to fucking what's his face in The Boys. Like, it's just it's crazy and it's ridiculous.
It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird world. And it's like, I feel like with the strike, we all want to be like on the right side of it or whatever. Like, people don't want to, like Stephen Amell. Like, what if like Stephen Amell actually had the best take, but it's just not the popular one? Do you know what I mean? Where like, but not because he's wrong, but because it's so easy to dunk on that. You know what I mean? Like, we live in this dunking world in society. So like, basically he just handed a layup to like all of these anonymous scooper accounts that want to, you know what I mean? Like, just Amel bad. It's like, I don't know. The whole thing's kind of fucking crazy, honestly.
Well, you have to be a next level troll to like not want to be on the right side of history. We all, at the end of the day, when we wake up in the morning, have to sit there and look at ourselves in the mirror and like live with the choices we've made and live with the people that we try to become every day.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to like do easy things to make you feel like you're a morally sound person.
Yeah.
And people don't like to look at it that way, but like just existing in capitalism, you're hurting people. Like, you have an iPhone, you have a Samsung, you hurt people. Sorry, it's the truth.
Well, you're participating in a society that exploits 100%. You know what I mean? But this, to take it all the way back, though, this is actually why I like Warhammer so much. And a little bit, yes, this does come from Dune. But like, I think one of the ideas of the Imperium is that it's fucking horrible, but it might also be the best scenario. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, there's this like kind of cringe to that where you're like, oh, like, I don't like that. But it also might be the case, you know?
Well, in the new movie coming up, light spoilers for anybody who hasn't read the Dune books, but they kind of hit on it in the trailer itself. In this movie, you're going to be dealing a lot with Paul Atreides, like, knowing what's going to happen in the future, knowing what his fate is, and also hating it. And hating what he's going to do to the world, but also kind of coming to the understanding that he has to. Yeah. And that
that's like the Bhagavad Gita, right? That's the Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna says. It's like, who are you to judge me? I've already killed everyone that'll ever exist. It's like, oh shit, guess that's true. Fuck, but yeah, we do the best we can. Well, look, I appreciate the call. I feel like we went down the rabbit hole, but I enjoyed it. I hope others did too. So thanks for the call.
All right, have a good one.
Peace out, Girl Scout. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Now we got a couple other super chats that came in late in the game. Let's check these out, and then we'll mosey on out of here, folks. Mosey on out of here. Okay, let's see here. I almost Warhammer videos, great production. Okay, Rosie says, I almost forgot. Love the Warhammer videos, great production. How do you pick the music and where do you get it? I was really impressed. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, so I use a service called, I think it's called, I can actually just look it up. What's it called? Epidemic Music? epidemicsound.com. And they have different licensing options and stuff like that in there. So I mean, it's honestly one of the hardest parts is finding the right music. And basically, like, I usually have like a vibe for what I'm going on for, depending on what I'm talking about in the video. And so I'm kind of using some of my film school tricks to like figure out a great piece of music for it. But yeah. Thanks for the love. Tell Proxy to get me in the Diamond Lounge. Okay, I will. J Mike Gaming says we should get some Combat Patrol during the meetup in October. Bro, I would love that, but then it would just become like a Warhammer meetup, and I would just get too invested. But maybe someday, dude. Maybe someday we will have like a gaming thing where we can all hang out and play some games together. I don't know. I would like that. Lil Benny, 28 of the best after 28 months. Hey, man, I appreciate you. And then He Who Profanes, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers. Appreciate you. All right, guys, let's chill in the chat for a little bit. And then let's get on out of here. Anybody make any good rolls? Anybody winning? Yo, can I show you guys some stuff? And I want to show you this. And here's the thing. You're going to want it to be for a giveaway. But occasionally, I just buy for me. I just want to buy some stuff for me. You know what I mean? But here, I want to show you this, okay? Iron Man Model 1. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Awesome freaking show. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Captain Marvel versus Dr. freaking Doom. Let's go, baby. Let's go. One more. An actual Super Skrull and Skrull Queen. Yeah, man. Can't wait to open them up later. And get into it. Guys, I'm so hot. It's so hot in here. Holy shit. My God. Hey, I appreciate you guys. I really do. Scrolls. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not even that hot today. I don't know what... Like, I think this room... I think I picked the worst room in the house to record from. Because I feel like it has horrible insulation. I feel like the sun beams down on it. And the heat just goes in here. I feel like there's no way to properly cool it. It's all brick walls. Shit's really hot, bruh. It's really hot, bruh. You ever watch Alias back in the day? Yeah, Alias was cool. Dude, you got the Secret Labs Game of Thrones chair? Dope. Yeah, Elisa got this for me. The Targaryens? Yeah. Nuck with a 10 spot says, I would just like to say, Evo 2023, Street Fighter 6, Nerd Avengers for life. What do you mean? Are you going to be killing it or what? Are you going to go play in Evo or what? That would be cool, man. Right before stream, I was watching, Doc was watching a CSGO tournament. And I was having a lot of fun watching that, man. Esports is you know, a lot of esports is like super boring or whatever, but I gotta say, CS:GO was dope. That was cool to watch. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Nuck, you gotta explain yourself, bro. Wait, are you watching it right now? I don't understand. Thoughts on IGN saying Dex from episode 2 is getting a backstory. I've heard that, and that's fine. Well, what do you know? How did I get such a cool wife? Got really lucky, and also worked really hard. Can you get canceled for giving mental health advice? Because if so, theory better chill. What do you mean by that? I mean, I don't know. What can't you get canceled for? I feel like I walk that line every day. What did he say about mental health? I've always found Theory's takes on mental health to be pretty good and refreshing. Have I watched Dana White slap? What, like power slap or like the incident with his wife? Because I've seen both. He probably was a Death Sticks dealer. Yeah, that'd be cool. Josh got Streamlabs set on bankruptcy. Wait, what? What does that mean? I have personally canceled Josh 3 times. Sounds accurate. Yeah. Competition, huh? Theory is my therapist. Confirmed. Oh boy, I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah. I hot for over 100K today. You hit for over 100K? Whew, my man, shut it down, Chet. They've got too much. Shut it down. Man. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Guys, we're gonna get out of here soon, you know. But I just want to say, like, I'm so hopeful for Ahsoka, and I think for those of you that can, and I know watch parties are like weird these days or whatever, and like I don't even like doing them, but I just remember doing the watch parties with some of you guys back in the day, and they were so cool, and I felt like we really had some incredible times together. You know, with WandaVision and Loki and Mando season 2. And it would just be great if Ahsoka delivers, and like I would love to become that Josh again and just be so happy and just be gushing about it. And man, I'm really hoping that we get that back. And then if we can get that back with Loki as well, like, look, we're still where we're at, and still most of this stuff is not hitting, and like there's issues. But I still want to have that feeling again. And I still want, even if it's just for 2 shows in this year of our Lord 2023, man, it would be nice to get back to that feeling. So who knows, man? Maybe we'll have that, a small reprieve, you know? Yeah. If you want to co-host, I'm down. Dude, I do remember doing that back in the day. Unfortunately, it's like way too hard to do that shit. And oh, I gotta end this stage. Sorry. Yeah, it's just too tricky to do that, brother. But I appreciate the offer, and I did have fun back in the day doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah. They also need to prove that they can still make good content. Oh, 100%. Absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you this. The opposite is true as well. The opposite is true as well. Let's just put that out there, okay? All right, everybody. Much love. I appreciate you all. 7 p.m. tonight, Diamond stream. Probably a video over the weekend. And then we'll be back at it on Monday. Appreciate you guys. As I always say, hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? I just gotta say, felt like it was a good stream, had a good time, and it was helpful for me to not be thinking about or worrying about doing another stream at 2 p.m. So I'm very grateful for that. I know it was weird to end the Prime streams. Hope y'all kind of get it, and I'm committed to making great content. I just want to make good. I want to make good content. I want to have fun streams. I want to have fun videos, even in the midst of this dark time. So thank you. Remember to open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt. I'll see you later.